Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make when we're dealing with this movement called Salafiyyyah is to assume that that is a legitimate way or practice of the Muslim nation. And I think that's a big mistake. And not only is it a big mistake, it gives them more power, more authority, more legitimacy than they really have. I mean, sometimes you should call a spade a spade. This is a movement that is a deviant movement, that is against the way of Ahlus-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. This movement can lead a person into KUFR, to take them out of Islam. And I think a lot of times when we talk about the Salafiyya movement or the Wahhabi movement, we talk about it in a way that it's legitimate, that it's valid. It is no more closer to Islam than Christianity or Judaism. Those people who mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in a place, in a location, forget their clothes, forget their talk. Let's deal with the most important issues that they're putting forth to Muslims to lead them from the Sirat al-Mustaqim. That they say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in a location, that Allah is above the throne. And I think this will let you know how close they are to the Christians and the Jews. Because this is what the Christians say, that God is in heaven above his throne. So do the Jews. And so do the Salafis and the Wahhabis. They are no different from the Christians and Jews in this issue. And just as we don't consider the Christians as a valid way to follow or the Jews' way as a valid way, so we should not consider that way as a valid way to follow. It contradicts the consensus of the Muslim scholars, and I just think we should keep that in mind. And a lot of times when we don't look at the real issues, we look at the outward appearance of the person, and we say, well, they look like a Muslim, they talk like Muslims, they speak Arabic, they say, but what they hold in their hearts is worse than everything they do outward. Everything they do outward is light as compared to that ugly belief that puts Allah in a location, that gives Allah attributes of bodies, that Allah has hands and feet and eyes and a face, and some of them, they go far into everything except a private part. This is blasphemy. And I think this is the most dangerous thing that we should be worried about. It doesn't matter if the sisters dress in all black, the brothers wear pants up to their stomachs. Who cares? That doesn't make a difference. What really makes a difference is the fact that they associate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his creation. And that is the biggest danger of the whole movement. So I just think we should concentrate our attention on the things that they do that's going to take someone out of Islam. And I think this is the most important matter. Because the other things, if the sister wears a veil or doesn't, if she wears black, if he doesn't, if the brother has a long beard or he doesn't, these things are not going to affect you. Even if they have bad character, that's not going to take you out of Islam. It's sinful. You should correct yourself. But if you fall into their ugly beliefs, that will take you out of Islam. And that is the most dangerous innovation from them. And that thing we should highlight. Because if the person who doesn't know, he becomes a Salafi or he follows their way, mashallah, he may fall into those bad beliefs. And those beliefs would take them out of Islam.
Ya Allah, bestow your mercy upon us in this time of need.